That turned out so good, guys. I'm really happy with the results, but what a wild ride it was just to get it finished. So many problems and frustrations. Okay, so this epic B-roll, cinematic B-roll is inspired by guys like James Matthews and Peter Lindgren, Daniel Schiffer, but I wanted to put my own spin on it, you know? Something different. Not another poker B-roll or another cooking B-roll. And I was like, I haven't seen many of these B-roll sequences shot outside, so that's what I decided to do. Another reason why I wanted to shoot outside is because you don't need any lights, and that way all of you can try this too. You only need a camera and an idea. Now, I thought it was gonna be easier without lights, but I was wrong. It took me 4 days to finish this 1-minute sequence. 4 days. And I'm not talking about editing, that's just shooting the sequence. So let me take you through the whole shoot and we'll talk about camera settings, camera moves, problems. Like I said, it's gonna be a wild ride. And let's start with the intro sequence. That's the one without slow motion. Because I wanted to create that contrast between normal speed and epic cinematic slow motion B-roll. I shot that first part in 4K with my 35mm at f3.5, ISO 400. Nothing crazy, just a simple normal speed intro part. And remember, this is supposed to be the easy part. Let's just watch. That was really good. This is the last few of the non-slow motion shots where Joanna approaches the table and sits down. Okay, so we might have a little problem. What is this? Focus. Focus. Okay, so we might have a little problem coming from over there. See that? That doesn't look very nice. Abort. Abort. So the first problem when you shoot an epic B-roll like this outside is obviously the weather, because you have to deal with it. Now the thing is, for a sequence like this, you want consistent light, and when you shoot indoors, you control the light, and it's gonna be consistent. Outdoors, not so much. So you have to make sure that you make a plan. First, I was planning to do this shoot at sunset, because the light looks very cool at sunset, but the problem is that you only get like half an hour tops of the same light at sunset. And if I would have done that, it would have probably taken me over a week to finish this sequence. That's why I decided to go for a cloudy day, you know, consistent light throughout the day. But the problem, not too many cloudy days here at the moment in Belgium. It's more like a sunny day with clouds passing by. And it took me a lot of planning to just record all the footage. You have to be ready at all times to get the shot. So the first important tip for a shoot like this is definitely make a shot list. So that once you're on location, you don't lose time trying to figure out what shots you want and which ones you don't want. The shot list will be your guide. And of course, you can get some new ideas to add to the shot list, but make sure you have a base so that you can start once you arrive on location. Don't even try to do this without a shot list. Bad idea. Okay guys, welcome to the second day of the shoot. The weather looks pretty nice. There's a lot of clouds coming in, so I hope it stays that way, because that means that the light is good. We'll just continue where we left off, and that is with a few more shots of Joanna approaching the table, so the shots without slow motion. Okay, so I almost died there, but it's okay. It's part of the whole epic B-roll experience, I guess. The next shot I'm gonna do is the last one from the intro sequence, and it's when Joanna goes to the table and sits down. I want to try something a little bit different than what I had in mind first, so I'm gonna first focus on the bag, and then when she sits down, move the camera, pull focus on Joanna. So change the focus from the bag to Joanna. Okay, that was it for the intro. Now let's start with the epic slow motion scenes. And the first one is where Joanna puts her hoodie on, then goes with her hand to the bag, opens the bag, and then I'll make the transition to the next shot where she takes out the drone and the remote. So we'll do those 3 shots. The settings here, I went up to ISO 800 and sometimes even 1600 because when you shoot in 120 frames per second, you need a shutter speed of 1/250th of a second for that epic slow motion, you know? But yeah, that means that you get less light, so you have to bump up the ISO. And I also opened up the aperture to f2.8. Something else very important to remember is to turn off the IBIS, because when shooting in these high frame rates, IBIS sometimes creates a weird effect when it tries to compensate for those fast movements. And of course, we have a few more problems to deal with. You do the breathing, then put your hoodie on, and put your hand through the bag and open it. And this was when my camera decided to overheat. Yeah, I'm really not happy about it, but it was also why I wanted to shoot a sequence like this, to test the R5, to test the 4K 120, but it's a lot worse than I thought it was. The problem is that for a shoot like this, with all those coordinated movements, it takes a while to get the shot. You have to try again 10, 20, sometimes 30 or 40 times. But that overheating clock keeps ticking, especially if you also watch your clips on the screen of your camera to check if you nailed it or not. So the 15 minutes of recording time for 4K 120 from Canon's statement is just not true. It's not actual recording time. It's more like once you're in 4K 120 mode, you get 20 minutes. But it's not actually recording for 20 minutes. But you know what? I'll make another video about this overheating because you probably don't want to hear this right now. Okay, welcome at day 3 of the shoot. We had to stop yesterday because first my camera was overheating and then also my card was full, so we couldn't finish yesterday. That's why we'll continue today and we'll pick up where we left off yesterday. That was with the shot where Joanna takes out the remote control out of the bag. It's the last one of the more difficult shots where there has to be a good coordination between me and Joanna with the movements, so I hope it goes well. Ready? Go. In 1 take, yes! It was 2 takes, but okay. That went really well, really fast, and the next few shots that we're gonna do is screwing the little joysticks in the remote control and taking out the legs of the drone. Stupid cock. And then finally the music is gonna stop, when Joanna puts the drone on the table. Okay, next is a few shots without slow motion and without music also, and that's gonna be pushing the button of the drone, turning it on, and then the propeller spinning and maybe some other details. We'll see. Yep, there we go again, overheating. I mean, it's a real problem because the recovery time is like 3, 4, 5 hours. That means that the shoot for that day is over. Let's just watch a few of the last shots that we did for this sequence the next day. And there you go, guys. That's how I shot this epic B-roll. Taking a shoot like that outside creates some extra problems and frustrations, but all in all, it's really fun to do. And I'm 100% sure that you can do it too. So take your camera, come up with an idea, and go shoot. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.
Yeah.